All right there. I've just watched Midnight Cowboy. Not to be confused with Midnight Express, not to be confused with Drugstore Cowboy. I'm a bit annoyed I've just said that line because I might review it later in my Dangerfield not Gonzo, but not Gonzo. Because if it was not Gonzo, I wouldn't say not Gon. I'm gonna just top up my water. Bells are ringing. Oh, this looks very frightening. Why has my auntie sent me 7 messages? Is this isn't going to be something very bad? Oh, yeah, lovely photos. Stick us a 1 in the chat if you've seen Midnight Cowboy. John Voight, Dustin Hoffman. A very underrated performance by Dustin Hoffman. He steals the show. I mean, John Voight's character's not so likable, but why? I'm just doing my film review now, aren't I? That's not going to go down too well if I do it exactly. Oh, lovely. Loads of people have. It's a classic, isn't it? Absolute classic. But funny you say that. Actually, I've got a 1-minute video that Rag sent me that will have you salivating in moments. Hello, Emma G. How are you? How are you? Pavlovian bells. Hello, Tito. Right, I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. I'm shafted, absolutely shafted. I nearly didn't do this stream, and I thought, no, you can't do that. You can't take away the Sunday Arvo stream. I've got a few little things to show you that I've actually done some work on and found. They were sent to me, all of them. But it's just, that's why I've also recycled the thumbnail and just put a 2 on it. But I like that. Sunday Relaxatron 2. We had quite a nice stream this morning, I thought. So, sometimes you don't have to go all... Now, if you see my little finger, I used to play trumpet. Well, I still do if I've got a trumpet in my hand and I'm playing it, but I haven't for years. But every time I used to see my little finger there, even though my music theory it's rubbish, but it's enough to know that you can get all your notes with 3 valves. When I say valve, I tend to think of Confederacy of Dunces. Those who've read it will get that. The other 99.9% won't. But it always made me think, why didn't they just put another valve on the trumpet? It would have made things a lot easier. Or harder. Think about it like that, I suppose. There's a man over there with a light. Yeah, so this nearly wasn't going to happen. Hello, Livy. Are you right? Hello, Emma again. Why not twice? Yo, Dennis. Dennis has come in with a yo. It's about one sort of cowboy, but his character's a bit dim. I want to run this past you actually, because I've been watching a lot of movies lately and thinking about this Not Gonzo reviewing I'm going to do. I am definitely going to do it. I mean, I already made the Nobody review, but that wasn't my Not Gonzo. That was just because my missus was sick and I had to kind of whisper. But you'll hear screenwriters and people, film reviewers, talk about not liking characters. They say, I don't like that character, so why would I care when he or she died? But what about characters that are dislikable? What about a person who's dislikable? You're not meant to like him, but you can. I think there's still story to be had in someone you don't like dying, because that's still a life. It's still their life, it's still their story. And it kind of confuses me sometimes, that sort of thing, character. When I was at my third art school, they called me Ratso. And so it's quite interesting because the Dustin Hoffman character, Ratso, that isn't his name, but that's his nickname. He's like a, I don't know what you'd call him, like a bum. He's not like an anus. He's not like cheeks and a zero. He's like a tramp, we'd call him in England. And he's got nothing going for him, but he's very likable, more likable than the John Voight character. It's a strange thing, storytelling. There's so many, I think, and this isn't a problem with storytelling. This is what makes it glorious. There's just so many contradictions. I mean, the obvious one that I learned this when I was about 9. I told you about my book of fairy tales I used to carry around with me and just loved that. Instead of a comfort blanket, I had this lovely old hardback book of fairy tales and illustrated, gorgeous pictures in it as well. And I always look for it. Now and again, I'll give myself 30 minutes Googling, see if I can find a copy of it somewhere. I'd love to dig that out. Nice one. Oh, good Lord. Sorry about the tip. That's why I do that. I don't want to be down under the super chats. Cheryl Peters, draining, bouncing, fruit pie enemies stream. Sayings are unfamiliar, but I'm a fast learner. Oh, Cheryl Peters, you're looking for stuff that ain't there, love. It meant nothing. They're not old sayings. This is. I did not know what to write, because when I was thinking of not doing the stream, I thought, well, hang on, rather than not doing it, just bring it back a bit earlier. Hello, Moslab, good to see you. Yeah. Once I've finished talking to Cheryl, I'll put that up because you've nailed it. I thought, bring the stream back a bit earlier, and then I've got some marketing work to do after this. I've got to make a video. Yeah. So I thought, bring it back a bit earlier. So in the description, I just trotted out absolute nonsense. Whereas usually it's a bit of nonsense, but yeah, they're not anything. So it's not that you don't understand it. There's nothing there to understand. So apologies if that made you, if it confused you unnecessarily. Thank you for the donation, Cheryl Peters. You've been very generous. Moslab says, book of fairy tales, the Green New Deal. I'm thinking about that massive stack of paper. Have you seen if that's gone through, Moslab? I haven't been keeping an eye on American politics the last couple of days, but they gave them like 2 days to read it. Did you see it? It was literally about 12 inches deep of paper, $3.5 trillion. Democrats said that's a low estimate. No one's read that. Even the people that wrote it. That would have been written by loads of different people and then just shunted together, collated into. They would have said, at the end of each page, make sure it stops, and then you write a line like other things that need to be considered, : and then you can just stick any old page in after it. It's just and they're so, government is there as a political organization whereby decisions can be made on behalf of the country who voted you into power. The most, especially when you're the most popular president, and yet to hand over 12 inches deep of paper and say you've got 3 days to go through that before questioning us on it, it screws the system, and I despise that. What really saddens me about America over the last few years, well, since Trump really, because Trump was like an exciting potential change. But they threw the book at him, man, from all angles. I know people say he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Well, it's quite hard when you're being investigated, Russian collusion, impeached, this one, that one, this one. But just that lack of care of your own country, you know, just a basic lack of patriotism. You know, they're not putting something forward that they want the Senate and the House to use the organization of government to look at and debate like you'd imagine them in the Greek city-state, in the polis. In the Greek city-state, the polis was the area that was defined where politics were discussed, where people would go, and it was separate from, I can't remember what the other bit, but it's the domestic. And, you know, you just, when you read stuff about it, you just get the feeling that everyone had skin in the game, and it was the same skin in the same game. And having faith in a system of sort of Socratic debate where, you know, this is what we think we should do for the best of our lands and our people. And someone would sort of come back to you and argue it. And okay, and at the end of a day's debating, you'd have new ideas. You know, it's the Socratic dialectic, essentially. But these bastards, you know, they want to screw the system. There's no sense of sort of a communal agency. They're so the Democrats are so partisan, they would rather destroy the Republicans than build America, without a doubt. That's what they did with Trump. They didn't care about the effects it would have on America, them attacking Trump. And that's just disgusting. That's the work of pitiful people. You know, how they end up in power? Well, via corruption and corporate lobbying, of course. But what a terrible shame. You know, America, what an amazing experiment. Absolutely amazing experiment. It's just, I think it's hard for a lot of Europeans, especially younger Europeans, to understand quite exactly what America is and what the project the United States was. And to see it being treated with such disdain by the people who are actually meant to be leading it is just, it's heartbreaking. It is, I mean that, it's heartbreaking. And without a doubt, history will look back on these fools with the utter contempt they deserve in the present. You know, there'll be no saving graces here. They'll be seen as the intellectually barren, politically corrupt, immature, power-hungry, self-aggrandizing idiots that they are. And when you've got something like America in your hands, you need to treat it with the delicacy it deserves. And these are just a fumbling bunch of, you know, I've run out of words to describe them, because that when I said immature, I didn't even think about that. It just came out. And that really does define them. They have no sense of history. They have no sense of their place in the world and their nation, their republic. You know, when I saw what they'd done to Trump, I just thought, you cowards, you utter cowards. You can't. This so-called goon, this so-called racist, this so-called this, that, and the other. All right, well, if that's what you think, play it out. But no, they didn't. They bullied him. They acted like bullies. And bullying is what Children do, and it has a place in child. It has a place amongst infantile humans. There's a place for it, and part of that process is growing out of being a bully, and then you start understanding. You become more sophisticated in your thinking, and they haven't. It's retrograde. They didn't come out of that phase. You know, they're like a bunch of the Democrats are like a group of people in perpetual puberty. And unfortunately, and as much as I hate to say it, it's showing. It's showing in the state of America. Permanent perpetual puberty. That's what the Democrats are. Anyway, I don't know where that came from. Oh yeah, it came from Moslav's Book of Fairy Tales. Let me get the grift on just quickly. I'll get this out of the way. Sunday nights, never a good grift, but you know, you got to get your begging bowl out, haven't you? But I have got a couple of things to show you. I am Shasta, though, people. I'm sure you'll forgive me because you know what? It was only like a year ago that I'd come on here and I would I'd apologise about this and apologise about that. You know, I have to look at that. I've always looked at that. I've done a lot of work on that with therapists, apologising, and before I'd done this stream, like I said, I wasn't going to do it. People who were just arriving, I previously said I was nearly going to knock this out because I'm fucking shattered. I had a lot of work on this week. I've done a lot of streaming. I've done a lot of writing. Still haven't finished the new Substack. Apologies. 16 new subscribers today, and they're not all scrubs. So that's, you know, it's lovely when scrubs subscribe, but other people reading my stuff and signing up is great. My numbers are going very well, so that's you know, it means a lot to me. But I thought I don't have to apologise about being tired. I may be the man in this bit and not one of the people in this bit, but I am just one of us. And you know, if you can't stand the low energy, I'm sure you can just go and do something else. I don't need to apologise. Nice one, Meganesia. That's lovely. Nothing scares me more than indulged youth. Well, there you go. And they're in control of America. Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. Yeah, and when you see children who are overindulged, look at them. I mean, a very good example is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Look at all the kids. Look at all those kids, all those spoiled brats who bought thousands of bars of chocolate to get their gold ticket, and they all want more. They all want more when Willy Wonka's taking them around the factory, and they die and they explode and they get shrunk or whatever. All weird, you know. Well, they're the Democrats. The Democrats are but there's no Willy Wonka. That's the problem. There's no authority there to put them in their place. Maybe time will give us that. Hang on a minute, people. Thank you, Meganesia. That's very kind of you. We all expect your novel to be that long. Well, the amount of time, I wouldn't be surprised if I've written about that much over the years, and just binned most of it. Nice one, Little Bullet. Thanks for that sentiment and donation. Hello, Jimmy. How are you? Are you on the other end of those two gels? I just saw something from my man, Alan. One of us. What is that? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that's a different thing, isn't it? What am I thinking about? Well, I'm thinking of that weird laughing yoga. What was it Devon said? We are us. That's what I was also thinking about. Good to see you, Alan. Hope you've had a good day. Yeah, Augustus Gloop is one. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, there's 80 of you here. Wonderful. I'm sure a few more will turn up. We tend to get around 110. And if I'm, oh, God, I missed Jimmy's super chat, did I? He won't be happy. He won't be happy. Let me see if I can find it. Well, it's not in entropy. And did you, Jimmy, did you give the super chat before I started the stream? Because I've done Cheryl's, and that was the first one that came in. I can't see anymore. Oh, hang on. Someone just said to me, not passed. Sorry, Jimmy. Apologies, man. It's not even showing in me entropy. There's nothing I can do about that. It does happen occasionally. I was on a bit of a roll with the old American situation. So apologies. If you write what you said again, you don't have to throw any money. Just write what you said, and I'll read it out and engage with it. Yeah, he is actually. He is also very good in The Marathon Man, but that's an hard film. Don't stop drilling, please. Yeah, it's an ongoing. It didn't go through, did it? That 3.5 trillion thing. Why did they even bother? I mean, just how are you getting on with that, Ian? Are you going to throw it at me? I've been watching clips. I've been watching people talking about it. I did have all 5 knockouts to show you for anyone who missed them, but I watched it earlier and I just got it up before the stream started, and it's been taken down obviously because they got shot of it. Why can't I don't know what happened to Jimmy's super chat. I don't know where it went. Sorry, Jimmy, I don't know where it went, man. Because they usually show up in entropy as well. But maybe, let me see, maybe if I... Oh, Lil Bullet has said, Jimmy from Philly Wipe said, here we are again. Okay, Bullet has... I'm just going to refresh entropy and see if that works. No, it's just... It would appear that didn't work. I don't know what happened. It's all going wrong tonight, isn't it? Hey. Dangerfield, Jesus H. Christ, you missed my super chat. Sorry, mate. Look at that, though, Jimmy. Look, that ain't bad, is it? Someone else super chatted it again for you. Nice one, Little Bullet. Very kind. You've helped out 2 of us there. Yeah, but I don't get them. I don't get them like that. Rags on StreamYard, you don't see them. I mean, I might be able to just lag it if I can act quick over here. Nah. Let me see if I can maybe... Nah, it's gone. It's gone from YouTube as well. All right. Anyway, let's get this grift out of the way. I haven't even done that yet, have I? Talking about missing super chats. Right. Bosh. Right, I'll keep this very, very brief. I've just put it in Stompacks. It's right underneath you there, and it's the top of the... Right, let me do it. Hi. You can become a member. Top link in the chat. There's free strata. You join the most expensive one, you can go to all 3 private streams. You join the second one, you can go to the bottom 2 private streams. you join the last one, you can only go to that one. Those will happen this week. All right, they will do. I'm going to do them on separate days. 3 hours on the trot with my normal stream and my evening stream. 7 hours streaming in one day. No. And working. No. That's one way you can support the channel. I think it's like £1, £4, £7. The YouTube's prices. Super chat, $, under the chat there. Entropy, link in the description, and it's pinned at the top of the chat. C'est la grift. I don't expect to get rich, but a few quid is appreciated. I do put a lot of energy, effort, and time into this, and for Jimmy's sake, even though I've been going for 25 minutes and it's actually been very good, I would like to say the super chat has been absolutely, I can't remember what he says now. I can't remember what he says when he's taking the piss out of me. Even though Cheryl Peters reminded me this morning. Right, I am going to, what, me or you? Good Lord. Martin couldn't. There you go. Right, so Rag sent me this. Now, I don't know what the language is. This. Now, I'd like to say, while on the surface, this might appear for the men watching, this is actually I must say tonight, the grift has been absolutely appalling. How weird that I've ended up needing you to remind me. It hasn't, by the way, people. That's just, it makes me laugh when Jimmy says it. Well, thankfully, Ian, I've got a lovely young lady to do that for me. Right. Now, while this little clip is only a minute long, now, while it might appear on the surface to be for men, it's actually about women and wearing properly fitted undergarments, right? I'm being serious here because I know that I read an article, I looked at the pictures, and it was about bras. Apparently, 75% of women wear bras that are the wrong size for them, which causes health problems later, right? Rags, all right. Yeah, I've been watching the channel. I've probably seen it. I'll have a look, Rags. Nice one. Nice one, Meganesia. No. What, censor what? I don't know what. What, I don't censor. Censor? What? When do I censor? I need to get the fart and buzzer on again. But it doesn't work with the cans. Maybe I'll try. I've always wanted a soundboard, so I might sort out a little soundboard and I'll get the fart and buzzer sorted. Then I can just go. Ah. Oh, but hang on. You're saying that so that I know that I've got a super chat. Yeah, which wouldn't work if I didn't see it. You've lost me with the censor, but I will. I don't know. I'm so tired. Nice one, you two, for the donations there, though. Very kind. Now, hello, Fionn. Hello, Fionn. Now, okay, so like I say, this might appear for men, but it's not. It's actually for the ladies. It's very important to wear correct fitting garments. It's only a minute long. Oh, there is one other thing I need to tell you, which is a bit weird. It's not in English, so it might be for the men after all. But, you know, we can all learn something. Let's go.
Достаточно широкий пояс. Все как мы любим. Вот здесь эластичное кружево. Все аккуратно собираем. Видно, да, что если у нас есть какие-то вот здесь боков нюансы.
Very important area there.
Главное, что вы должны знать про этот полукорсет, это то, что он зверски делит в поясе. Если вы обычно носите чашку GG, вы посмотрели, и вашей чашки в этой модели нет, девчонки, все в порядке. Вместо своего 75-го GG берете 80G. Для того, чтобы этот полкассет хорошо сидел, у него здесь есть небольшие косточки.
Yes, I've noticed that in the past.
Специальная пластиковая косточка, чтобы корсет на вас не собирался гармошкой.
Right.
У этой модели на целых 5.
Yeah, and I'll just fast forward it because oh god.
Поясом, и они
Right.
настолько мягкие, чтобы нигде не врезаться и чтобы не.
I hope we've all learned something there. You know, I like this channel to, you know, cover a wide range of topics, and women's health is an important thing. So it's a bit much for a Sunday, isn't it? Yeah, exactly, Don. Science and stuff. I think it's the same here, Rags. I think I started to. It got to the point where I thought I was understanding what she was saying on some of the other videos. Yes. Yep. See, look, people say that men don't care. We're misogynists, smash the patriarchy. Look at these comments. Taking notes. Complete agreement. That's kind of ruined it, little bullet. You've and you're a lady, Baz. Well, there you go. Thank you very much for sending that in. Young Rags sent me that. I can't play that. Rags. I can't play it. It's too much, too dangerous. It's too much politics. Yeah, there you go, Wolfie. That's what I like to say. I'll keep this somewhat encrypted, Windy, but you and the other half have an absolute cracker this week. Yes, you know, you make the effort. I've got 18% women watching, so I think it's important. With 96 people here, that's nearly 18 women, and I no doubt you've all look. But see, actually, while I'm here, look, to prove that I'm not. That was obviously just a joke and an excuse to show some fantastic breasts, but I'm not joking. Watch. Percentage of ladies who wear wrong sized bra. Yeah, see? Not wrong. Jimmy, 21% on my fem audience. Steady. Read it and weep. Yeah, but Jimmy, 20% of 20 is 2 people. Hear it and weep. Nice one, Jimmy. It's a lovely channel. I watch it. You're doing well, son. You're doing well. It is funny though, Jimmy. This is on Jimmy's channel. He does those fucking whippets. He drops 2 blotters. He's sitting there talking about. He's sitting there drinking his high strength lager, and then he goes, "I don't know why YouTube haven't monetized me yet." No, I can't imagine why they haven't. No, I can imagine they're sitting there thinking, "Yeah, that all looks like advertiser friendly content." Yeah, look, just to show that I wasn't just blagging. Check it. From the New York Times, not to be trusted. Are 8 out of 10 women really wearing the wrong bra size? Well, I suppose, are they talking about women or new women, if you know what I mean? Yeah, I thought you'd understand that. Right. Yeah, retailers are fixated on a persuasive statistic that says 80% of women are buying the wrong bra. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story. When I read, I mean, that's all you needed to see, really. We ain't going to read it. When I read an article like that years ago, I was with a girl, and you've actually seen her breasts. You remember she used to come on Anyway, she had absolutely huge cans, and when she got them out, I'm trying not to be crude here, but I'm also trying not to become really immature. When she set the mad dogs free, she would have like sort of really deep lines cut into it, and I'll be going, that can't be comfortable all day long. She says, no, it's agony. So we found a bespoke bra making and fitting shop. It's on Regent Street, and you have to ring up for an appointment and everything. So I dived at the phone. Hello, is that Tits? True story. Apart from hello, is that Tits? And I said, can my girlfriend have an appointment, because there's something wrong here. And I said, she's got huge knockers, and she's got all her bras dig and cut into her. And I said, and the bit in the middle, when she sort of walks, the bit that the bra doesn't cover, they sort of bounce around like a like lovely soft flumps. So can you make changes but not stop that happening? Sorry. So anyway, when I got this appointment, I said, am I allowed to come? I try and come on her heart, but Tits get in the way. And they said, yeah, men are allowed in. I was like, sweet. I said, when's your busiest time? Anyway, and they said to me, I put the missus on the phone, and they said to her, bring us a few of your bras. And I said, no, leave the PVC ones here. That's very special. So we go around there, and so it's full of women and their bras. And I tell you what, it backfired so badly. Because I was just a mess. I was just going, it was impossible to look in a straight line without looking at breasts. And women with smaller breasts don't seem to have this problem. So it was just ginormous. It was the ginormous breast festival, and I was the only bloke there. And I was, I didn't want my missus to get the hump with me going, fucking hell. And there was no shame, as there shouldn't be. We're all humans. But they'd just pop them out, and there'd be another woman sort of sizing them up. And the absolute salt who was working on my girlfriend, I was just thinking, oh, come on. Do you do knickers as well? But she showed them her bras and she put them on, and they were like, she said, you've got the wrong cup size and you've got the wrong measurement size. So they've tried a couple out on her. Amazing difference. And I sort of stopped listening then, and it was just visual after that for me. But a serious point, ladies, if you're getting like issues and things, they do need looking after. And apparently, I told you that story the other day about the Thai girl when the bloke said, oh, take your bra off, and she said, look, you can enjoy my breasts up on my chest, or you can take my bra off and they'll be round my waist. And Grego said, you should have let one out. But apparently a correct brassiere, from when you're when you get tits, basically, if you've got correct brassiere, they won't end up down by your belly button. They will when you get really old, because it's like my ball sack, I can crack them between my knees some days, but after a bath. But that's just natural. But you don't necessarily need them if they're correctly scaffolded. I mean, don't send me photos. Right. So that was that. I don't know how we ended up on that. It's 40 minutes of boobs, and we gained 23. We gained, me talking about bras, and we gained more people than watch Jimmy. I haven't got a clue who Rachel Riley is. I have no idea. I haven't watched porn for 2 years. And I'll tell you what, Don, it's amazing. It's a hard, this is not easy, is it? It's a hard one to drop out. because that instant gratification, well, I say instant, 40 seconds, that instant gratification is an hard one to let go of. But the beautiful thing about getting porn out of your life is when you see a video like that, it's like being a teenager. Your whole body responds. You know, porn stole my sex life from me. It didn't mean I wasn't having sex, but it was like a different kind of sex. And it took about 7, 8 months of not watching porn to actually to reclaim my own sexuality. And that's a dark thing. If you think about what that actually means, I'm being really serious here, because this is how bad porn is for you. How dark is that? And anyone here who watches porn regularly will know this, as much as they might deny it. It has shaped your sex life. It has shaped what you think about when you're having sex. It has shaped what you think sex is. And it also, pornography, and a regular indulgence in pornography makes your sex life essentially masturbatory. And sex isn't masturbatory. It's two people. And that was the biggest revelation to me when I finally got my sex life back. Oh, there's someone else here. And that's just beautiful, because that's like that sort of, you know, when you first discover women and you think you lose that. You don't lose that. We've had it taken away from us through porn. But it's an hard one to put down. You know, all addictive behaviors are, because, you know, you got to think, well, hang on, I've got to go, because in that no man's land, or no woman's land maybe, or either or, in that sort of no man's land between putting down porn and getting your reclaiming your sexuality, you're wandering in a desert of innocence and ignorance. But once that ignorance goes, you reclaim an innocence, and it's beautiful. And that might sound hippy drippy, but I can assure you it isn't. It's actually the best sex I've had. And you wouldn't think that of 49, but there you go. Right, this is quite a jump in. Let me just see if someone got back to me, because I asked him if I could use something of his. Hang on. Hurry up. Yeah. Oh, I can't listen to all of his message because it goes on forever. Are you in the chat, son? Well, if you tell me now, you're going to grass yourself up. Apparently, I can't read you something that I wanted to read you. However, what I will do, I'll do an edit of it, because it might dox the person who wrote it. That's what he's just told me. Could you please tell me you couldn't hear what I was just listening to? Because I wrote to someone, sent me something they wrote, and I said to him, "Can I read that out on the stream?" It's a nice piece of writing. And anyway, he just said he's used a name on it, and people might be able to triangulate, and so no. But what I'll do is I'll do an edit of it and read it to you. But it's about Banksy, right? I don't like Banksy. I think it's saccharine bullshit. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll show you a bit of it that is very funny, and you'll get the idea, and this won't cause him any problems. So I won't. So this isn't the start of the article, right? He's written loads before this, but this bit, it really tickled me. And this is from the web archive, because the thing it was published in got shut down. So, oh, have you got that as well, or is that just me? Oh, maybe the old web archive doesn't like being shared. Let's try that again. Okay. Right, so he's been talking about Banksy for a while, and I'll just read you this last line. When Banksy's offices finally get shot up by fanatics, or he gets fatally denounced as a cis-patriarchal or whatever, I'm likely to be tweeting Je ne suis pas Banksy, which is fitting, because all the keffiyeh-clad bozos who tweeted Je ne suis pas Charlie were blatantly Banksy bumlickers. Let's take a look at his pics, which are full of statements that may or may not be worth making, e.g., and it's his summaries that cracked me up. Some cops fancy each other. Rioting would be less horrible if they threw flowers. People are too focused on their phones. I mean, this is it. It absolutely just drags down the reality of these tedious, saccharine pictures. People get spied on. I mean, it's like, yeah, absolutely. There are rats. Children work in some countries. British people are grey and foreigners are colourful, i.e. better. It's a very good article, but there's some stuff on there that he does. I'll have to sort it out and edit it or something. But now here's the weird twist on this, because I've been disgusted by the whole Banksy thing. I'm not impressed with it. We saw what he'd done with his silly boat that sank. Oh. You know, and that is just crap. It's crap. However, and I might cop a bit of flack for this, if you haven't seen his movie, which is called Exit Through the Gift Store, right? Which we've all done that. I went to a place with Paul Mumford on acid once. Oh, I can't remember what it was called. Pickerton Park or something. It was a really shit place in Devon. That there was like an Italian garden, but there wasn't. There was two sort of fake Greco statues. It's like, what? There was a maze, but it was about 1 foot high, so you could see where to walk. It was rubbish. Oh no. Bicton Park, that's it, Bicton Park. I'll see if, say and search. I'll see if I can show you where we went on acid. There is a reason for me telling you this. I must admit, the big botanical garden bit was pretty good. Yeah, Banksy is an out-and-out lefty bullet, without a doubt. So we went here on acid. But this thing, which in this photo looks, you'd think going in there on acid would be amazing. But we went inside and it was crap. Everything was dying and it was dirty. And on acid, you don't want grime. You don't want squalor. It's like the last thing you want. And also, when we were in there, we're like, are you wet? Are you damp? You know, when you're 19 years old and you're doing acid, this isn't that good. This is the Italian garden I was telling you about. There it is. That's the Italian fountain. It's not a good day out. Like I typed in Bicton Park. What can you see? That botanical garden. That wasn't working on the day we went. That might have been a laugh. And that's it. It was so rubbish. It was really crap. However, when it was time to leave, the sign was there, exit through the gift shop. And it's like, oh, don't force me to. There's a massage place in Cambodia, well, in Phnom Penh. And it's not like a happy ending place. It's actually a decent massage. But when you go there, when you pay afterwards and they walk you, hang on, we came in that way. Oh, you're going to make us sit here. And they leave you sitting there. They serve you up like this tea. It's a very nice tea, though, like herb tea. But they leave you sitting amongst all the stuff to buy. And it's quite a weird thing because they think you're a rich foreigner. And it's like, why doesn't he buy a bit of lemongrass soap or something while he's here? And you're just sort of there going, give us the bill, please. Don't make me just sit in a shop and not buy anything, because that's what you've constructed. You've now caused me to sit in a shop and not buy anything. I've got that SUBSTACK. That won't be missed, mate. And I can't miss Jimmy's. Please don't tell me I've missed those. Hang on, how many were there? Right, I haven't missed them. I've got yours. Weebles wobbles, but they do if you don't get the right size and shape. In many ways, I think we should wear ball bras. Well, you know, why haven't they designed bras for balls? I don't know if you, at the end of the Tyson Fury fight, there was some bloke interviewing him for English television, and he was going blah, 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 and it was all good talking about boxing and that, and then just out of the blue, Tyson Fury went, well, that's because I got balls as big as lions. Just drop it in. Anyway, this is what I want to tell you, and it is a weird thing. SUBSTACK, I'm assuming you're referring to what I was talking about, dislikable people such as Ratso Rizzo in Midnight Cowboy, which was a while back, but it's an interesting question. It's a social quandary. Is it a tragic death if someone dies laughing? I think in thank you, SUBSTACK, for the donation and the question. I remember in Private Benjamin, her husband dies while he's banging her. I think I'd like to go out like that. Not with her, though. Well, at the time, maybe, but I think she's dead herself now, so not really. Anyway, Banksy made a film called Exit Through the Gift Shop, and I recommend it. Oh, I really recommend it. And here's why. So hang on a minute. Cut me some slack here. I've told you what I think about Banksy. It's just nothing. It means nothing to me. And it's just left-wing scrawl. However, Exit Through the Gift Shop, the movie, isn't about him. It's not about his work. And it's really, really, I got that, Rags, nice one. It's really, really worth watching. I honestly, that's it. He said balls the size of King Kong, just out of the blue as well. Doesn't matter if you got balls the size of King Kong, because your balls can't get. Oh no. That you're right, actually, Cheryl Peters. They're meant to be. They're meant. That's why your balls, not yours. One's a man's. Most men's. If these days, I don't know. That's why they go like a. Sometimes they're like a tennis ball in the snow, and other times they're like your nan's goiter. Yeah, that's why you don't have ball bras, but an adjustable ball bra, perhaps. Good call, St. Giles. Now, I advise you watch Exit Through the Gift Shop, Banksy's movie. I really would suggest it. Flammadiddler, hammock is the perfect word, because you've already got a flesh hammock, haven't you? But you kind of need another one. There you go, like the last turkey in the shop. Okay. A couple of little comedy interludes in this Sunday night relaxer part 2. Check this out. Are you ready? Tell me if you've got audio. Did you have audio? Because without it, it's not so funny. Let me know. Hello, Mousecat. You've changed your name again, you cheeky little bugger. You didn't rate it, RMF. You didn't rate Exit Through the Gift Shop. You think it's made up? Well, I looked thoroughly into it. I didn't think it was made up. Oh, that's interesting. Ah, well, not for everyone. Oh, not at all, Brad. It's not. This isn't a dog eating video. It's actually quite funny. Okay, people, here we go. It's got a touch of that. What was that meme that was going around years ago? That little squirrel that went. Hello, Bushy. Mousecat said it depends what device. Oh, I was thinking the audio, but you mean your name. How strange. Yeah, it was excellent, wasn't it? Almost human. That's what's peculiar about it. And oh, I don't know about that one. Okay, it's been a while. It has been a while since we've had Aussie Man on. We won't do the whole thing. I'll give you the link because it's a long one. But it is the Sunday afternoon relaxer. So he's a bit of a favourite in these parts. So why not have a little bit of this? Is Aussie Man reviewing Floridian, that's of Florida, alligators. Take it away, Aussie Man.
How you going, everyone? It's time for my critical analysis of Floridian alligators. Down under, we have crocodiles that you can hang out with and feed in the local bloody recreational swimming pool. But I don't know. From what I see on the internet, alligators in Florida could be cheekier and dodgier than our crocs. Yeah, they appear to have a massive obsession with golf. They moved to Florida.
Aren't they incredible? Can someone tell me how long they've been about? I mean, haven't these things been walking around the world for like thousands of years? It's quite terrible when they kill them. I think that's awful. I mean, I don't mean this one. I mean, this one's probably about 100 years old. But they've actually been around for a while. Nice one, Mousecat. Muchano Appreciatati. They've been around forever, have they? 150 million years, Moody Edge says. Windy says since dinosaurs, so does Rags. Anyway, let's get back to him. Cheers, Mousecat. That was very kind. Why? Well, it's the eternal question, Cheryl Peters. Here we go. Let's see a bit more of them.
Florida, relax, get fat, lays around on golf courses all day. Alligators, that is, not my friend Brian's parents. There's a mid-size American for scale. Gee whiz, that is a fair fucking dinkum big unit of an alligator. Anyway...
Fuck me, even with the foreshortening, that is a gargantuan beast. People who live in places where they've got these things, can they move? Have they got a bit of speed on them? Because I wouldn't be getting that close. Imagine being chased by a bloody alligator.
He's done his 18 rounds. Time to hit the showers. Look at this dinosaur. It is carrying a sack of golf balls in it.
That is an actual dinosaur. I mean, that was the first words that came to my mouth, Wolfie. But isn't that incredible? I mean, as an Englishman, that is ridiculous. Hang on a minute, Moslab. Well, I must admit, I was thinking about the shoes. While I was thinking about a nice pair of shoes. But have you encountered a Moslab? Have you encountered those? One of them ate your dog. Fucking hell. Spacer, classic English. That's a big newt. Oi, Mark, we had a white crested newt in our pond, a rare newt. Lovely thing it was. You could take it out and it'd like sit in your hand for a while until the sun was drying it up a bit too much. They call them amphibious, but they prefer the water. So, Moslab, did you ever like have to sort of shoot one or anything? Please, if you didn't, please just lie and say you did, and that it was like a mad feature film. Oi, Moslab, what? Oh, constantly. Wow, they're like an actual problem. Moslab, how many mil? What amount? Just because I trust you, not that I don't trust the other people, but I know Moslab knows his weaponry. How many mil of steel, like stainless steel, 301 steel, would you need to stop a 9 mil from a Glock? For instance, from a Glock. How many mil thick do you reckon stainless steel, 301 steel, millimeters, would stop a 9 mil round from a Glock at, let's say, 10 meters? If you don't know, no worries, but it came up earlier. It's a big Lacoste tracksuit. Cheryl says the Y was for the girl in the cage. Yeah, that was peculiar, wasn't it? Absolutely peculiar. Flammadiddler says they lived for over 100 years. Moslab also said he's killed several. And is that just because you didn't like them, or because they come onto your grounds and threaten your livestock? I'm assuming it's the latter. Let's see. Ask Ned Kelly is a great answer. Yeah, that's a good question. How big do they get? Well, no, for sure. No. I know that, but not round my drum. They don't. I've been warned about that out in the provinces. But you've got to go right out into the wilderness for them. You know, they're not. Yeah, you can. There's. I've seen crocodile meat for sale out here. Weirdly, it's considered quite the. Quite the luxury in Europe. Brad Young says 2 or 3. Well, this is what I was saying earlier, but people reckon that a 9 mil would go through 3 mil of stainless, and I can't see it. But who knows? Oh, it depends on the ammo, I suppose so. Well, I reckoned about 2.5 mil would. I just never felt that they were powerful, but I don't know a lot about them, and I've only shot them at paper targets, so that's why I asked young Mosaic Labrador. Meganesia says that alligator, would be at home in a MAGA hat, sitting on his uncle's ranch, flirting with its cousin. Piece of pancake, yeah, good call. 3/8 inch plates in my vest will stop a normal round, but it depends on the round. Hang on, what? 3/8 of an inch. Oh, I've got to translate that now. Come on, get your systems right. Inches to millimeter. 3/8. 9 mil, is that right? I've just put 3-8. Is that how you say it? All right, let me turn that round. Let's go millimeter to inches. It won't let me. Oh, there it will. And then let's put 9. Let's put 3. I don't know how to. I don't know what. I don't know how to put 3-8 in. I don't know what 3/8 is. 6 or 7 mil. Are you saying? There's 25 mil in an inch. So 3/8. Someone help us out. 8's into 25 go, let's say 3, right? So 3. So 2 of them, 6 mil. See, I reckon that shield, I reckon is 2.5 mil steel shield. I don't know what I was trying to say now. Well, this is what I was saying. We showed, I'll tell you what, Moslab, after Aussie Man, I'll show you the shield and you can tell me. This isn't me not trusting anyone else. It's just me really trusting Moslab. So we'll watch a bit more of Aussie Man and then remind me to get the shield video back up.
Its neck. It looks thirsty. I say it's heading to the club room to eat a rich wanker and smash a brandy.
Look at
I
that
thought having a tail
dinosaur.
that long must be a pain in the ass. What's that, Shooter McGavin? You want to take your shot? Nah, how about I fuck you right in your posh, lush fairway? You like that? Feels good to me. Oh, I don't mind the renovation.
Are they protected or anything, Moslab? Is there like rules? Do you get in trouble? Have you got to bury them or something if you shoot them? Have you got to ride them? Or are they considered a pest?
You've done to my jungle, to be honest. You're not gonna fight him. Put the 5-iron down, Grandpa. Actually, it's nice. Golfers and alligators living in harmony.
Fair play to them just getting on with their game of golf, though. What's the old saying? Golf is a good walk spoiled. Well, so an alligator is a good game of golf made better.
Harmony. Horses and alligators, on the other
Whoa!
hand, not a lot of harmony. Get off my
Whoa!
bloody prairie, yells this
Whoa!
horsey. It trots back to its mates for a high five and a hoof bump. The alligator replies, whatever, I was leaving anyway. Prairies are for pussies. I'm heading back to the golf course. There's a Florida man on the left walking towards the car.
So Moslab, is he looking for food? Is he looking for food? You can hunt them. Why is he? I mean, I know that bears start getting in. No, I've got my mass is nothing. I know that like tigers in India are going into the villages now because they've been, destroying their natural habitat. So they've been turning up in villages looking for food.
Carnivorous creature. Okay, where's your garbage bin, mate? Grass and more horses. They don't seem like they're at the top of the food chain at all. This one is getting bullied by a pack of...
What an absolutely bizarre sight. Are they herons? Look at that. Let's just take that back a bit. America's a fucking weird place. Couple of herons or something and an alligator on the road there. No wonder jaywalking's illegal. They're looking out for you.
Don't seem like they're at the top of the food chain at all. This one is getting bullied by a pack of cranes. It's
Nearly got it.
only a baby, to be fair, but come on! Don't take this shit! Put your big girl teeth in and show these fucking lanky birds who's boss.
I quite like the way it's walking. It's quite cute. They are really dumb, aggressive eating machines. Yeah, right. They're like sort of sharks on the land, aren't they?
Now, is this a common cause of Floridian traffic jams? Alligators getting picked on by other animals? Let me know in the comments.
Terrible. That's Birmingham. Terrible thing to ask, Moslab, but do they ever grab children down in Florida? Is that a thing? Look at Cheryl Peters. Just as I said that, I took my kids on vacation in Disney World, Orlando. They were randomly everywhere. Good God. Right, well, there you go. That's I can't just show Aussie Man's footage as my own content. Well, I suppose I can. Right, we're going to go back to the shield, and I want to get Moslab's. Opinion, just out of interest. I'm not trying to prove anyone wrong or right. Let's not get angry here. Was that the one? Right. So, Moslab, we watched this fella earlier, and he gets out his shield. So have a look at this shield. It's really weird. I don't know if you've checked this geezer out. Oh, they do. Oy, oy, oy. I never fancied Disney World anyway. It's not my cup of tea, all that bullshit. So have a look at this geezer's shield and tell me whether a 9mm standard round Glock, Beretta, usual capers. Tell me whether it would go through this. And have a laugh at him if you want.
This is made of paper. This was made in a steel mill, right? By a
It's real metal.
friend of mine, Chandy. Shout out Chandy, right?
Nice one, Chanders.
He made me this because obviously we're
Well, say fired at 10 meters, 6 meters, shall we say?
mates and he knows I've always wanted one. So my shield, right? Now this makes me laugh because everybody seems to think that this, yeah, is not proper steel, mate.
Right, so you get an idea of the thickness of it if you look at this bit up here. I reckon that's about 3mm.
It's got RIP on the back. The reason it's got RIP is because this bottom edge.
See that bottom edge? That's got to be about 3mm on it. Yeah, look, that's quite a good sight of the size of it. So what do we reckon? Han Chandy. Anyway, we don't need to watch. Well, maybe play a bit more so you might be able to get.
Yeah, and so is that top edge. Do you know what I mean? Right, it's for ramming into faces and ramming into feet. Do you know what I mean?
Did anyone know, Rags, you might know about medieval weapons. Did they use the tops and bottoms of them to ram into feet? Maybe they did. I don't know. Okay. I could put a pellet through that. A BB gun.
Right. But basically, see this.
I mean, in fairness to him, he doesn't say that it would. He doesn't say that it would stop a gun. That we just had this conversation earlier, and I'll tell you why. Because when I fired a couple of magnums, and I've had a go of a couple of. I had a go of a Kalashnikov, but when I fired Berettas, they felt just a little bit gay. And the bloke out here said to me, because first time I ever fired one, I was like, you know, we don't grow up in England firing guns. Well, I had a pellet gun, but that's nothing. So I was a bit like this. He said, listen, he said, it's not going to jump out your hand or anything. And when I actually fired it, it was like, and nothing. And he said to me, he said, with a 9mm, and this is weird when the police get done, when they go, why did they have to fire 35 bullets into him? And when the SAS went into the Iranian embassy and they said that the terrorists had like 40 bullets in them. But those 9mm, you've got to put about 8 or 9 of them into someone because 1 or 2 won't stop them running at you. I just thought that they were very weak. You know, you need to fill someone with holes, really. Mouse cat. Attack him with a tin opener. He'll be ramming your teeth. He'll be cutting your toes off. Got to get close for a Beretta. Yeah, I just think you've got to just empty the magazine into the clip. Oh yeah. Moslab, when I finally get out to America, am I going to be able to fire all your guns? Have you got a 50 cal? They've got a 50 cal down here, but it's like 500 quid for the day. And you can fire an RPG. Lil Bullet says, talking of ancient creatures, we got 130 people in. Lovely. Hoit to you people. Talking of ancient creatures, the giant turtle is allegedly the most tasty creature on Earth. I've seen some idiot stuff out in Venezuela when they just catch them out the water, not necessarily giant ones, but they're pretty fucking big. And they just turn them upside down and let them dry out in the sun. So much so that it almost got eaten out of existence. Yeah. Not nice. All right, thank you, Little Bullet, for that donation, that comment. Yeah, it just took me back to Venezuela. I wanted to turn them over and say, don't do that, but they were hungry. RMF says it's not gay. I don't know what isn't, but I suppose a fair amount of things aren't. They were great, weren't they? I bet you're not allowed them anymore. They were so good. Did you have the one where you just, I think the Spud-O-Matic, you just pushed it into the potato to load up the next potato round, and then now it's just Nerf. I don't want to fire a flump at my friend. I want to hurt him. No, imagine giving kids those big. It's like having a homosexual pillow fight in miniature. Nerf. No. At least get some bamboo canes and whip your friend's knees. Whip them around the back of the legs. That's what we used to do. Everyone here's thrown darts at their mates. Come on, let's face it. Someone on here. Oh, no, Ted. No. I know exactly what you're thinking of because that was what you progressed to. The Gat gun, which was legal in England. I think they banned them in the end. That thing, it was a spring sort of pistol. You had to push it on the ground and it fired corks and little darts. Yeah, everyone got a Gat gun in Dartford. I reckon I could probably find one of them. I wonder if there's one on the tubes. Gat, but I think Gat gun means something else in other countries. But yeah, no, they were excellent. I remember a kid. We found it. The Gat air pistol review. This will take us back. Nice to see you, Ted. One in the chat. Even if you didn't have one, one in the chat, people. If you fired a Gat gun in your kids. Moslab says, I just picked up a .500 Smith & Wesson Magnum, almost snapped my wrist. What, just picking it up? One in the chat if you fired yeah, I thought you might have done. No, Bullet. The Gat gun didn't fire 177s. I had a 177 air pistol, pump one. You had to fill it with air. And it says in the instructions, don't fill with more than 10 pumps. 40. You having to tread on it to get it down. Bang! We used to shoot this metal target at the back of my garden. But behind it was a metal cone that my dad used to do his metal work on. And I've gone over the target, hit the metal cone, but because it was a cone, it's ricocheted. And I saw it hit my old next door neighbour in the leg. I saw his brown slacks sort of dent. And he went, that's the blood enough. I was like, sorry, Joe. I was only about 9. I felt well bad. And I shot a bird. I'll tell you this, right? There was a little sparrow in the gutter. And I'd never shot an animal. And I just thought, I wonder what that'd be like. And it was weird. It was almost instinctive, dare I say. And so I lined it up. I was pretty good with it. I could shoot caps at about 100 foot. And the garden's 100 foot long, 13 foot wide. I didn't live in a manor house. Very long, but very thin. And I aimed it up and I went, and there was like a load of feathers sort of shot out of it. And then it just went, and I'll tell you what, I felt awful. And I went in, I went, Mum, I just shot a sparrow. And she went, you bloody idiot. And she got right angry with me, making my shame even worse. And it turned out she wasn't angry that I shot the bird. She was angry that it was close, because it was standing on the drain pipe. It was close to my neighbour's window. Thanks. Anyway, you lucky American bastards, while you're sitting around as kids firing all sorts of guns, have a look what we got to play with. And Anne thought we were commandos when we finally managed to buy one at 16 years of age. It fired little corks and darts. And I fired a dart at my mate's bike tyre, and it pinged off and got me in the kneecap. Thanks, killer. So here we go. This was the gun that every British teenager wanted. The Gat gun. Well, check out the no damage. Hang on a minute. That didn't look like a bit of cork. Maybe this is a different one. Maybe old little Bullet's right.
Well, hello everyone.
No, that's
Welcome
it.
back.
That's the bugger. There's the little dart, and it also fired a cork. But look here, look, 0.177. How interesting. You know what, Bullet? There you go. You nailed it. We never had that option. I wonder why. Maybe the ones round our place, that wasn't an option. I don't ever remember firing. Look, Sezu knew it as well. Grego still got his. Have you got a concealed carry license for your Gat? That's blown me away that they actually fired pellets. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's the one I had, but maybe when I see it, I'll change my mind and go, oh yeah, maybe the cork and that little dart thing just stayed in my mind a bit more. Let's have a look at it.
Way back in the mid-70s, I don't know what it was now, early to mid-70s possibly.
Late 70s.
Yeah. We were on holiday in a small seaside town.
Late 70s. I certainly didn't get mine when I was 7.
My family and I. And my father decided to go and look around the town.
Yeah, show us the bloody weapon. Weapon? The generosity on it. Fucking hell, he's still talking about it. Right, here we go. Let's get the hardware out.
Anyway, let's pop it out of the box and have a look.
Fuck me, he got 2.5 minutes out of that gibber.
You can see the box is a bit worse for wear.
Yeah, look at it.
On a bit now. But here is the gun. And they came with a cork or two. I have one left here. And some darts, look.
Right, so there you go. I mean, maybe we'll go on to mention. I'm not questioning any of you because I saw it say 177 on the box, but ours only came with corks and those darts. I never saw a pellet in it.
The little darts. I used to keep mine in the cork so they'd stay together. But here is the. You
didn't used to,
itself, look,
unless
guys.
you're talking about a second ago.
As I say, this is a later model because you've got the redesigned pistol grip here. Little, you know where you.
Yeah. After Vietnam, they decided to reshape the handle.
Fingers go in there, which mine was just a straight handle just here. Of course, it doesn't have the safety on it.
Hang on, where's this? This one here, look.
You know, thing they put on later on. Safe and fire. We've got on the other side.
I can't believe this bloke knows the history of the different models.
Interesting. That's it. It's all like die-cast alloy, I think. It's all.
Guess. But no mention of these 177s, but it did say it on the packet.
It's only one piece and most likely machined through here.
Shut up. Right, let's see if he gets onto pellets.
Turn him over. You can see all this bit comes away to.
Look at the no mechanism. Does it get more simple?
Access the trigger group, assemble the trigger group into the gun. And then we have the German first made by
trigger group seems a bit generous. Little Bullet, keeping the grift going like an absolute trooper. When we were kids, we broke into the fairground lorry. Oh, that's a dangerous one. Those dudes you like is hang you up by your legs, mate. And stole all the 177s and 22 range rifles. We used to play war games. Well, that's dangerous. I mean, they're enough sting, but they will take your eye out for sure. I wouldn't have robbed off the dudes you like, though. You were taking a risk there, mate.
by Umarix back then. Look, it was taken over by Umarix. There's a German F,
Where's the bloody
which shows the
pellet?
low power rating. And as I live in a town, shooting this thing outdoors is going to be a bit problematic. We don't want to upset the neighbours, so what I'll do is I'll take it down into the workshop.
Isn't that interesting though that he hasn't mentioned the pellets? Ted's gonna give us a little bit of it did fire pellets. They are the same diameter as the darts. Ah, they didn't come with it. Oh, I can see what you're saying now. That little shaft on the dart is about the same width as the sort of back end of a 177. Okay, Ted, nice one. No, now it's all making sense. We didn't know that. We all had them, and we were just firing corks at each other's foreheads and see who could do it. I'll tell you what happened. Actually, nice one, Ted, for the info and the donation. So what we were doing, we'd fire corks at each other's heads. So you'd go like that, and what we done the first time, it was like see who could take the cork closest. So we started about 1 meter, and the wind would blow the cork away. In the end, this horrible geezer called Paul, I won't mention his second name because Burgess is quite common. He ended up just fucking putting it about 1 inch from my head, and when that bit come out at the end, not the cork, the bit of metal, it just went, and I had a big round scab for about 2 months because I kept picking at it. You can sometimes see it if I get a suntan. Bastard. Never forgive him. I'm going to hunt him down. Vindication is mine. Well, I think we've cleared up the GAT. How amazing that we all had them. I think while we're on this one, I think it's only fair. This will bring back a few memories. I'm sorry this is a bit boys' toys, but we got a nice, healthy 130. I think this will bring back a few memories. Because we all had the basic. I'm gonna keep it as a surprise. We all had the basic little tiny ones with surgical elastic, and then some bastard turned up with one of these, and the game was changed. Hang on, it's got music, unfortunately, but you'll know. Many of you will already know what I'm talking about. Do you remember when this game changer turned up? The Black Widow catapult. It was a vile piece. There you go. Look how many of you are already on it. Look, bosh, bosh, bosh. Yeah, bosh. Because it had that arm thing. I tell you what, people used to put ball bearings in them, and they'd just go. It was always the older kids. And you'd all be standing around going, wow, all the 12-year-olds would go, whoa. Because we had them, but they were called dead shot. Do you remember the dead shot? Die cast handle, bit of surgical wire, same as that, but a little die cast handle, and it was ping. And someone would get that, and then they'd put a ball bearing in it, and it'd pull back about 1 meter, and then they'd go, you lot better start running. And fuck me, did you move? You would fly, and they'd just go. And you'd hear that fucking ball bearing go, fucking hell. It's quite a nasty bit of kit, actually. Chrissy's still got one. Jesus Christ. Out your window, scaring the hell out of the drunks at night. I'll see how long the music goes on for, but this might have to be quit. Oh, look, we're going to actually see the power of this beast. Just check me entropy. We're all good. I done Stompacks. Lovely. Here we go. I'm having to interrupt it because he's got a soundtrack. Whoa! There you go. That would put Danny G's shield right to the test. I mean, look at that. Now, I know that's nothing. I know the Americans are laughing at us Brits. But that, one of them up your fucking bum, I'll tell you what, you know about it. What's that noise? That's Paul Mumford. Why can't I see him? Hang on a minute, people. 1 second. Paul? I'm streaming right now. I'm still streaming. No, I'm afraid not, man. I'll talk. You're drunk, are you? Drinker! I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I've got something to tell you as well. You'll like it. I don't know if you could hear that. Could you hear it? He called me a streamer. Could you hear him? Could you hear Ball then? I'd love to. Shall I see if I can get him on? He's drunk. I'll send him the link. I'll see if we can get old drunk Ball on. He might do it. But when he can be a little bit sabotagey. If you want to come on for a chat. Ooh. We might see Ball, but when he's a bit pissed, he can be a bit shitty. So, well, we didn't have to. We had an house full of weapons, didn't we? I don't know if you heard when I told you the story when we tried to ponce money off of our one rich friends. There was loads of guns laying around our house when we were kids. They were me old man's. And we took him down to the antique gun expert, and he went to my mum. He went, sorry, but these are just weapons. She had them wrapped up in a blanket. It was like, yeah, I know that. Can you just give us some money anyway? Right. So I don't think we'll see Ball, but you know, if he's drunk and bored enough to call me, he might do it. Well, that was the slingshot. Now we have got something worth seeing from our man Memology. It's quite a long one for Memology, but it's while we're all crying real tears about Australia, the occasional little bit of resistance is necessary. So don't think this is just blackpilling, because while it is, it's also well, why don't you watch it for yourselves and make your own mind up? Oh dear. Antlers. Here we go.
Do you agree that you put some posts on Facebook? Does this look familiar?
Illegal as.
If you missed that, she said, do you agree that you put some posts on Facebook? I mean, what?
Yep.
Did you put this on Facebook?
Yep.
So the question that's been raised is, were you there?
Oh, no comment. Yeah.
Is that yeah? Or...
Well,
were you there?
well, does it matter?
Yeah,
You're handing me paperwork saying I've sent a photo.
I'm not handing you anything. I'm asking a question.
Well, you've got the photo, don't you? So
that doesn't. You put a photo on Facebook doesn't actually confirm whether you were there or not. So I'm asking.
So
never talk to the police unless you've got legal advice right there. Never talk to the police. Not a single word. At most, no comment. Get me a solicitor. If you can't afford or you haven't got your own one, get a duty brief. Anything. Do not talk to them.
so if I say no, you're not going to give me the paperwork, you're going to go home,
There's
mate?
no paperwork here to give you. This is my
So
information.
what are we here for? Are you here to serve me?
Okay,
or...
what part didn't... No.
Intimidation. Yeah, I know. It's just...
Can you...
It's loser.
Could you believe that? Can you believe the copper accused the bloke whose house they're at of intimidation? I'll play it again. Unbelievable.
This is
Okay, so what are we here for? Are you here to serve me?
Okay,
or...
what part didn't... No.
Intimidation. Yeah, I know. It's just... It's loserish. It is like sad. What is this humanity? Where are we going in life? You've got the cops coming around here to tell me that I've been in a protest
No, to ask
6
you if
months
you
ago.
have- To ask you if you have been.
Yeah,
In
well,
July,
who gives
that's
a
why I
fuck?
was 6
It's how
months ago.
illegal is that?
Which part?
Going to a protest. Why are you guys here? Why is
Because
the
you're
police
mass
on my
gathering.
doorstep
You're-
about a protest?
Yeah. Because
Why?
it's legal.
Black Lives Matter protests fucking 2 weeks before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that illegal? Are you knocking on their doors?
Maybe.
No, you're not.
wow.
It's clearly so imitating. Why are you working for this corrupt government? What are you guys doing? Who are you serving? Are you
Amazing.
serving us or are you serving the corrupt government and health officials? They want no good for you. They're not there for you.
Were you there?
What?
Were you there?
You can answer my question, can't you?
No, we
No,
can't
that-
answer your
that's the
question.
whole
Well, I won't
reason we're
answer
here.
that.
Okay.
I'll just no comment it.
All right.
Like, what are we here for?
Well, what part of when I...
What the fuck do you want from me?
What did you understand when I first told you why we're here?
Well, you're asking if I'm at a protest 6 months ago.
Yes.
I don't recall. I do not recall.
We've been asking.
I don't
you
recall.
here
I'm sorry.
Because of crimes, anonymous.
I don't
crimes,
recall.
Service report.
I don't recall.
Well, then we'll end the conversation. Unless
Yeah.
you want to say anything else.
Go ask Andrews.
What's your reason for breaching the show direction?
What are you talking about? I don't recall any health directions, mate. I don't watch that bullshit on the TV.
How are you going to make any pushback for those that?
Well, Victoria Police will take whatever steps they need to take. Protests don't work. Protests are not smart. They're not lawful.
Wow. Handled brilliantly though. What who are you serving? Us or the corrupt government? And then when he went, I don't watch that bullshit. And what can they say to that? Sorry, I don't sit there absorbing your propaganda. It's really frightening though, isn't it? It's really frightening. They're just turning up at your door. Were you at this protest? Are you arresting me? Have you got a warrant? No, fuck off. It's really going down the pan over there. But, and that's why I showed that. When we watched one of them the other day, and because that clip at the bloke at the end going, it's not lawful, it doesn't work. Well, you're allowed to protest, right? Surely. It was a bit dark, but that's it in action. A couple of absolute numpties who don't know their own laws, have got no idea what they're doing, just knocking on doors and going, were you at this protest? And when he said to them, well, Black Lives Matter protest 2 weeks before, are you knocking on their doors? And she just went, cannot compute, cannot hold to contradictory. Yeah, I certainly hope they do. Well, I don't think that's necessarily fair, Moody Edge. I think, everyone's got a breaking point, but it's just a question of getting there. Yeah, but in Melbourne, they're running people over with horses, just and shooting them with plastic bullets. It's I think he got arrested, didn't he? That fella, have he got arrested? I think I watched one when I was half a kip earlier. It's ridiculous. But again, the thing with this Australia thing for me is the same as the American situation. It's just the speed this stuff happens. It's like group hysteria. There's been many cases in history of group hysteria where like a kid at school has started screaming, a kid of about 10 years old. And then the whole class has started screaming. And then the class next door that can hear the kids next door screaming, they've all started screaming. There's many. If you're interested in that sort of psychology, Google it. It's amazing. Group hysteria has done some very weird things to humans. And it's like a group hysteria on the side of the administration. Someone in the Victoria local council or however it works in Australia, I happily confess I don't know, sort of just suddenly one day goes, oh, this is getting out of hand. We need to do this. And then someone else is like, yeah, you're right. Maybe we should do this. Yeah, maybe we should arm the police. No, fuck the police. Send in the riot squad. Yeah, no more protests would be good. Protests don't work. And then it's just like this sort of, a snowball tumbling downhill until it's just huge, and it's just totally out of hand. That's what I said it was called, didn't I? What did I call it? Group hysteria? Same thing. Come on. But yeah, oh, on that, by the way, Scory, I sent you a photo, I think. Did I tell you earlier? Well, there you go. That is very interesting, because there's this is a debate that we've had that's been, you know, it comes and goes in England about whether the British military would turn their guns on their own people. And people are like, no, they definitely wouldn't. And people who are in the military and been in the military said, no, they definitely wouldn't. And then I'm like, yeah, I grew up while Northern Ireland was happening, and they didn't seem too trigger shy over there. So, you know, I mean, I know that's a little bit simplistic, but Andrew says they're using the eco road blockers to get the public annoyed with protests. How interesting. That's really interesting, yeah. That is really interesting, because I've seen so much. I know that bloke, Liam. It's so weird. So weird to see him turn up on This Morning and Good Morning Britain. What, Liam? Just have a cup of tea. That group, Insulate Britain, they sat on the M25 for a couple of hours, and it was everywhere. They really made a big deal out of it. And I was at the time thinking, this seems a little bit, even for the media, this is a little bit overkill. But now you say that you've just slotted that bit of that final piece of the puzzle in. Yeah, there you go. That's actually because they tried it. They tried it with what are those other eco loonies, where that bloke was on top of the train. They pulled him down and give him a kick in. Do you remember? That was quite interesting viewing. No, you can't go to work. Oh, get down here. Bang. But yeah, that's very interesting, actually. Demonize the protest. Yeah. Well, in America, of course, that beautiful Second Amendment that's why that they can't play all that game out there. They're terrified of it. That's it. Extension. I don't know if it was extension. Extinction. There you go. You're not as good as that as you are LSDJ, but no worries. While there's 135 of you here, if you're not already subscribed to my Substack, sorry everyone else, the link's in the description, but I'll put it in the chat. And it's my original writing, short stories, and it's new stuff. It's not old stuff. And I've got one coming out, let me say this week, because I thought I was going to finish it yesterday. Then I was going to thought I was finish it today. But there's a new one coming out, and it's an absolute cracker. And there's 12 in the archive. So there's already 12 stories. So there's the link, but it's in the description if you're interested. You've only got to put your email in and they get sent to you. And if you don't want to do it, you just unsubscribe. But if you do it, there's 12 shorts in the archive already, and they're pretty good. They've got really good reviews. I've got loads of my account has blown up, so it's wonderful. Exactly, Alan. That's why it's an oh, sorry, Strontium Dog, I should have known. That's why it's an interesting situation. Well, Andrew and Rusky, it's a writing platform. But what I will say, and what I always say, is there's loads of really interesting stuff on Substack. Lumi's got an account over there, which you can get the link from Scrubs Lifeboat if you ask him. But there's loads, and there's virtually no censorship, because they don't make their money from advertisers. And the geezer, the CEO of Substack was on CNN, and the CNN geezer hated it when he said, "Look, we think that people, even if they're wrong," and then he went, "especially if they're wrong, should be able to have debates." So you can find some really interesting. I write my autobiographical fiction over there, but there are people like legal firms that are writing stuff about rights and things. There's journalists who used to work for, New York Times and the Telegraph, who fucked off that nonsense because they're trying to turn them into activists, and they're on there now, and because they've got a massive audience, they're raking it in. My Substack is free and it will never be monetized. So that's another reason to be cheerful. 1, 2, 3. Right, we've hit the 1 minute 44. Who are the CCers? The climate campaigners? Who are they, Sal? Is that who you mean? The climate. I don't know who they are. It's free, you bastard. Talking about free, the grift has been absolutely appalling. Cheers out. Cheers out. Now it's a different. I've got a different model. It'll be cool. And never lose your Second Amendment. Please don't let them take that from you. The Second Amendment, I mean, the Americans will know this, and most of the other people will. That's there to protect people from government. That's what it's there for. That's what it was written into the Constitution for. That's why the government want to fucking take it away from them. Right, we're going to end on a slightly more positive note. Ball obviously didn't want to come in. He's probably up to his arse in Thai methamphetamine addicts this time of night. But you're all right, RPOW. Oh yeah. Insulate Britain. Yeah. Well, that they sat on the M25, and that when the M25 gridlocks, Dartford gridlocks, doesn't it? You know, my mother says that to me every time I go home. Every time I talk to her. Well, the M25 went back 3 miles, and of course Dartford's gridlocked. Then it's like, oh yeah, that one. Mum, tell me when it doesn't happen, and it will be something new and fresh and exciting. Exactly that. No, she meant the older climate lot. It's an interesting point Andrew made, though, that they're really making it's overkill, because there's about 7 of them. It's like, yeah. Right. Now, I've had a couple more emails, people asking me about free trade, asking me about indexes. I've put a few things on my Telegram about investing in indexes. I put that video on there about that bloke that will show you how, if you can put about £500 a month away in about 17 years, you'll have £3.2 million in your account. No shit. Doesn't matter what age you are, and if you're English, you can get that without income tax and without capital gains tax. It's virtually tax-free. You have to pay. There's some weird little ones that you pay just on stocks, but they're like 0.03%. You know, when you're talking in millions. So if you're 30 years old and you can get 500 quid into your ISA every month, by the time you're 50, you'll have 3.3 million pound. This isn't one weirdo. This is well known. Rich people have been doing this for centuries. It's not like I've got a system. I'm going to put you onto a new channel, not new to YouTube, but most of you won't know it. This geezer became a millionaire in his 20s, and he's carried on making money. He's carried on passive investments, investing in indexes, which is what I've been talking about. Loads of great content. Some of it can be a little bit more complicated than it needs to be, really. But I'll show you just a little bit of it because he's quite a cool guy, and I've watched loads of his videos, and I'll show you a little bit and then I'll give you the link. But I'll just introduce the channel to you, because about I think now we've had about 30 scrubs sign up to free trade, and loads of you have been writing to me saying that it's going great. Right, Billy, as someone from the UK, you are allocated 2 ISAs. An ISA, general investment account, which just fuck that off. It's rubbish. It's nothing. And then a stocks ISA. Your stocks ISA, at the moment, it changes every year. It goes up or down by about £1,000. I think at the moment you can put a maximum of £21,000 a year, a financial year. So that's April round to April. If you can get, going by this bloke's figures on the other video, if you can get 750 English into your stocks ISA, spread across a few indexes, you know, Standard & Poor, Vanguard 500, FTSE 500, NASDAQ, classic indexes, he said based on the last 17 years, that included 2 crashes, you would have 3.1 million. It's easy. So I'm talking about your stocks ISA. You don't, and then when it gets round to April again, you go back to 0. So you can then put another 21 grand in. But 750, even 300 a month, you're still looking at about 1.6 million in 15 years. And what this bloke does, what makes this bloke interesting, he said he learned nothing at school about all this. He said that, and that's because they don't want to tell you it. They say you got to do this, you got to do that. But what he done was got a side hustle, done a bit of extra work at night, done this, done whatever he could so that he could get that money into that investments, into those indexes. And he earned $1 million before he was 20. I'll just show you a little bit. It's not particularly relevant what he's going to say in this video, but you'll get an idea of his manner, and then I'll give you a link to his channel. And even if you're my age, you still do this, because then when you're 60, you've got 3 million in the bank, which will be lovely for your kids or your missus or whoever, you know, or your missus and kid. I'm not going to make that joke. I'll never live it down. Check him out.
Hi guys, it's Mark. So today I'm going to be talking about how passive income allowed me to go from a normal teen working a 9-to-5 job to becoming a millionaire in my 20s. I'm going to be sharing with you all the strategies that actually work for me, as well as lots of my mistakes, so hopefully you can do even better.
And he's got loads of videos as well, this fella, where he actually shows you what he's investing in, and he shows you the progress of it. And the geezer's minted. The geezer is absolutely minted. And he's got his YouTube channel's like, I think it's nearly 500,000 subs. Another passive, well, not that passive, but a little bit passive revenue stream. You know, he really knows his stuff. I'll show you the link in a minute. We'll have a little bit more.
This is the story of how I went from a small English town to the rolling hills of San Francisco and the bustling city of Shanghai, China, including all the challenges I faced along the way. Who knows, by watching this video to the end, it may open up a new pathway for you that you might want to walk down. You'll also find out why a simple desk like this can mean so much to me. If that sounds good, then give that like button a smash and strap in for the wild ride that is my life. Let me take you back to 1985. That's the last time I walked out of those gates. I was 16 years old. I was tall, skinny, and I had ginger hair. And I was broke, unfortunately. But I knew I wanted to make my mark on the world. And there was no way I could do that sitting in lessons, learning about things I wasn't interested in. So I went out to seek my fortune. But before we get there, let me take you back.
There you go. So that's enough of him. But I'll give you the link to his channel. I'll give you the link to that video. It's actually a really interesting watch. And I just want to say I've watched enough of his videos to tell you he's not bullshitting. It's consistent, and he explains it all. It's very simple, and he does answer questions. There you go. There's the link to his channel. And to the 30 odd scrubs that have signed up for free trade, and the many of you who've written to me telling me how it's going and that you're over the moon, it's fantastic. You can absolutely get on it. Oh, this one again. It's just okay. No worries. Don't worry about it. Don't get involved with it. Don't worry about it. No one's making money on stocks ISAs, Lumi. Don't worry. They've all got it wrong, these multi-millionaires. All right, people, it's been an absolute pleasure. I didn't think I was going to be able to do this stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know it was the Sunday Relaxatron 2, but I've actually really enjoyed myself. I hope you have too. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays, and I'll see you about 9:30 to 10 o'clock UK time tomorrow morning, and we'll start another week of superb streams. I've now got to do some marketing work. Yeah. Sign up to my Substack. Do us a favour. Link in the description. You've got a couple of minutes to get the grift on as well. It's been absolutely all right, actually. I think I'll say that. Take care, people. What an absolute pleasure. Ta-da!
Everyone knows I'm gonna be the first.
Yeah, Mouse Cat, you know what my email is, mate.
All my friends are sick of having me around. Nobody wants to give a buddy one last break.
Well, you only get one, Holden,
Can't go
and
on
that clock
taking
is
all
ticking.
that can take. Life is a
Thank you.
guess, it only gets worse in the world to watch you drown. Maybe my mind will fail to ever find the point. I'm going deep, deep down underwater.
See you later, MSM.
Gonna make my grave
See you later, MSM.
underneath the wave. I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna lay my head
See you later, alligator.
on the riverbed. Looking back, I rejected every place I stayed. A woman says I'm lying in the bed I've made. She says warriors don't give up before the war begins. So I get high to justify the mess I'm in. People get mad and people get sad, but at least they have a cause. Struggle to feel emotion I can really trust. I'm going deep, deep down underwater.
Apparently not, Billy.
Make my grave
I think someone said no.
underneath the wave.
My email is chris@chrisdangerfield.com if you want any help with that.
Gonna lay my head on the riverbed.
Special thank you to Mosaic Labrador and Rags for keeping you rabble in check, and Rags for sending me some content when I absolutely needed it as well. Nice one, Barney. Chris, if you don't already know it, check out Tits by 10 Benson on YouTube. A criminally overlooked glam classic. The lyrics might resonate. I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or a backhander. Nice one, Barney. I'll have a look at Tits by 10 Benson.
I'm going deep, deep down underwater.
Okay.
Gonna make my grave underneath the wave.
Cheers, Bushy Lad.
I'm going deep, deep down underwater. Gonna lay my head on the riverbed. I'm going deep, deep down.
Nice one, Barney.
underwater.
Oh, make sure I haven't missed any late entries. We're good.
Underneath the wave.
Oh, pressed the wrong button. Oh, I'm having a problem here. Hello, Graham Natras. See you later, MSM. There you go. That's the kind of comments you get around here. I think we'll leave that on the screen for the last one. Our pal says, I like tits. Now go on, piss off down your own end and have a look at those indexes. You don't want to be working all your life. That's a fucking nightmare, man.